Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show, and I know that you want to represent the CMS and you're just not sure how to do it, right? Well, the best way to do it is to pick up some merch over at our store at Creator Spring. That's right. The website is right there on your screen, bit.ly/CMS Store 1. Just go there, and we've got everything out there that you would want. We've got coffee cups, we've got wine cups, we've got water bottles, posters, phone cases, even got this swell fishing hat right here for those of you that are fishermen. Pillows, hoodies. I know it's getting colder and you guys have asked us for hoodies. There's zippered and unzippered hoodies there. Shot glasses, pints, you name it. It is all there. The only thing that's not there, your credit card. At least not yet, but it should be here in the next 30 seconds. So get over to bit.ly/CMS Store 1, pick up some gear, and represent the Classic Metal Show. That's what you want to be doing, right? Right. Do it today, folks.
We heard a couple other requests there tonight. We heard Warrior with Mind Over Matter. That one going out to Tori Watson. And also Chuck from North Carolina. It's his 50th birthday today. So we played something from Opeth. With
yeah, that was a happy little song.
It was called Demon of the Fall.
There you go.
That's for Chuck in North Carolina. So happy birthday to him. He's turned the big 50 today.
Cool.
So there you are. And then, of course, we just heard Kiss, which leads me into the Kiss cruise.
That's right.
I had no intention of, hang on, we'll take a phone call here real quick. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, what's up, you poon hounds? Lou from the Lou.
What's going on, Lou from the Lou?
I don't know. God dang hockey team's doing miserable, man. They couldn't score in a whorehouse the way they're playing. They're terrible.
So you're still following the Blues, huh?
Well, yeah. What am I going to do? Watch a bunch of gorillas dribble basketball up and down the court?
All right.
Well,
what's on your mind, Lou, aside from hockey?
Oh, not much, man. Saw the W.A.S.P show in St. Louis.
And how was it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I kind of wish Blackie would have played more than 10 songs, one of them being a medley of songs. But, I mean, it was a decent show. I mean, I enjoyed them. I'm glad I got to see Blackie Lawless at least once. I mean, Armored Saint brought it for an opening act.
Yeah, they always bring it. They always bring it.
Well, it was my first time seeing them live.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I've heard this. I've heard about this set list that they started doing 13 songs with the medley and they've cut it down to 10. And I'm like, ooh, that's a bit much. That's a bit little for a fairly pricey ticket.
Yeah, and Chris Aiken Presents said that this would be the best W.A.S.P show ever.
No, Blackie Lawless said on Chris Aiken Presents. Let's be clear here.
well, remember though, I mean, that was a great interview you did with Blackie, Chris. Really enjoyed it. But we all know that it was Eddie Trunk that brought W.A.S.P back to the States. And on his interview, he said that this was going to be the biggest and best W.A.S.P show ever done. It's going to be an arena value, size show and all that. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, what he did play was good, but I don't know what the deal, because you look back on some of the set lists at the start of the tour, he does 2 encores, and he only did 1 encore at this show. And I thought, well, maybe there's some sort of noise ordinance or what have you. some sort of curfew, what have you, in where the venue was, because the venue was in Chesterfield, Missouri, which is about 20 minutes from downtown St. Louis. So, but then I looked at like a couple more of the set list since that night, and it's the same thing. He's been cutting off the second encore.
Yeah, the set list. I'm gonna look. I don't want to shit on it too much, but just a couple things, and I'll let you get back to this, Lou. But Blackie did say in my interview as well, so I don't want to totally shit on Eddie Trunk here, but Blackie said in my interview that it was arena style. He said it was going to be the biggest stage show since the Headless Children, which was their biggest tour they ever did. So he did say that. And from the videos, I've only seen the videos. I haven't been there, but to me, it just looks like a bunch of like circus tents or curtains or something that are put up. So,
yeah, I mean, like he said, it's like a midway at a carnival, and there's there's all kinds of things. There's the hot she devil, and the guy who's going to ramp 100 cars or what have you, and that kind of stuff. And then after the medley, they pull a couple of the curtains, a couple of the banners down, and it shows the screens. Okay. And they just basically play. In which I know you haven't seen the show yet, Neely, so I'm sorry if I'm giving it away.
That's all right.
But then they just show videos, like Love Machine and Wild Child. And, they show the movie to the, Crimson Idol that has to do with the songs. But, again, I got to say I finally got to see him at least once. And when they did play, it wasn't bad. It was good. I don't really care about there's backing tracks or whatever, because I'm like you, Chris, for the money you spend for tickets, I want to be entertained and have a good show. I mean, I'd rather have that than, Vince Neil huffing and puffing and uttering, 2 words out of every line, and then hold the microphone out and letting the crowd sing.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm just going to real quick. This is surprising. I just pulled your set list up from setlist.fm, and it's 10 songs, like you said, on the medley, which is On Your Knees, The Flame. On Your Knees. Yeah, The Flame, Torture Never Stops, and Inside the Electric Circus. Then it's Love Machine, Wild Child, The Idol, Great Misconceptions of Me, which is a great song. Chainsaw Charlie, Blind in Texas, Fuck Like a Beast, Real Me, and I Want to Be Somebody. So that's 10 songs. I'm wondering if Blackie is just not physically up to doing this, because I looked at last night's show at the at Harpo's, and he only played 9 songs. So really? he's cutting down. He cut down to 9 songs. Oof. For Harpo's last night. He's here tonight. I know that he's in Cleveland tonight, but
he didn't look terrible. I mean, compared to Vince Neil, he looks like Mr. Universe, No,
but maybe his voice isn't holding. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, is maybe his voice isn't holding up to where he can do 13, 14 songs. Because like you said, at the beginning of the tour, he was doing like 12, 13 songs, but he's not anymore. I'm looking at the lists. The last time he did more than 10 songs was November the 2nd. He played 12. And actually 12, but one of them was actually another medley. So, you got 2 more in there. He did Hellion and I Don't Need No Doctor as kind of a medley. So yeah, I don't know what's going on this tour. I mean, it's kind of that I would not be happy if I was you, Lou, or if I was the people at Harpo's, or probably the people here in Cleveland tonight, if I got 9 songs. Fuck that.
Well, I would take it as a double headliner show between W.A.S.P and Armored Saint.
What was the difference in time between what Armored Saint did and what W.A.S.P did?
I would say Armored Saint played for an hour.
Okay.
And I would say W.A.S.P maybe played at most an hour.
Okay.
So I just look at it as, even though it's billed as the W.A.S.P tour, just go into it knowing that you're going to see equal amount of time between Armored Saint and W.A.S.P.
Right.
Unless something changed, unless Blackie goes back to doing his regular set list. But
right.
I mean, I don't regret spending the money. I mean, it was still a fun time. It was a good time. It was a fun venue. But but I get it. What is Blackie Lawless? About 60+ years old.
He's up there.
He's up there. So I mean, I don't know what it is that Mick Jagger, if he's bathing himself in the blood of virgins, or what it is, for him to be able to go out and play, the way he does at his age, the length amount of time, what have you. But I wouldn't. I mean, I'd still recommend the show. If you haven't seen them, go ahead and see them. Like I said, you're going. If you look at it as a double bill with Armored Saint and W.A.S.P, you won't be disappointed. But if you're just looking for it to be solely the W.A.S.P show, yeah, you might come out feeling a little bit short-sighted.
Well, I guess Blackie is fortunate to have a good co-headliner or opener with Armored Saint, because I've seen numerous Armored Saint shows over the last 8 or 10 years, and never a bad show yet.
Yeah,
those guys kill every time I see them.
Oh yeah, I mean, they were tight, spot on, didn't miss a beat. So like I said, my first time seeing Armored Saint, was very impressed with them.
Yeah, John Bush brings it, man.
Yeah, he does, man. This guy's voice sounds terrific.
Yeah, he's a great performer, great singer, great band. Love Armored Saint.
Yeah, I'm glad to go back and revisit the Anthrax era with him in it. Outside of the Sound of White Noise, I'm not familiar with, too familiar with, was it Stomp 182?
Stomp 442. Yeah.
Yeah, Store Valve's close enough. And was a tack of the one that has the damn 8-ball cue ball.
That's just called Volume 8. The Thread is Real.
Yeah, doesn't that album blow chunks though?
I love it. Piss and Vinegar is a great song. There's a lot of great songs on that thing.
We've Come For You All is a great disc.
Yes.
Yeah, but one last thing before my manager taps me on the shoulder. Neeley, are you ready to jump on the Ron DeSantis train?
Well, I've been behind Ron DeSantis from the get-go.
Well, I knew you were driving the Trump train, but I was kind of wondering if you think it's time to pass the torch.
Well, it might be. We'll see. It's too early to tell, but either one is fine with me.
That's the way I hear it. But the last thing, though, I did see a Classic Metal Show shirt at the show in St. Louis.
Nice.
Yes. So the gentleman that asked me in the Classic Metal Show shirt that I talked to and asked if I was Lou from the Lou, yes, I am the one and only Lou from the Lou, buddy.
Your reputation precedes you.
Yeah, he didn't have too much bad to say about me. So not that it matters.
Nice.
So, but anyway, hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job.
All right. There goes Lou.
There he goes.
All right. Well, I'll be seeing W.A.S.P in a couple of weeks, a few weeks, and along with Armored Saint. So love both bands. So regardless if it's 9 songs or 12 songs, at least I'll see the Saint.
Right. Yeah. They were here tonight, and I obviously for obvious reasons, like we haven't done a show together in 3 weeks. I did not go. So, and honestly, 9 songs. I would definitely be annoyed if I went and it was 9 songs.
9 songs. Wow.
That's not much.
Yeah, that's not even a whole record.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know. I mean, I'm sure it's longer to where it feels like a whole show. Like I'm looking at the setlist.fm is awesome if people haven't checked that out yet, because you can really find out a lot of information about shows. And it looks like the 9-song set is an hour and 15, which that's right on the cusp of good to not good, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get at least a 90-minute set out of a headliner.
That's what I think too.
At a minimum, 90
unless
minutes.
They're young, unless they're like 2 records or less.
Right.
But Blackie Law, I mean, how many W.A.S.P albums are there? 10, 12?
At least.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to come up with 90 minutes of material. He might not be able to do it, though. I mean, that's the other thing, too.
Have the stamina to knock out 90 minutes worth of tunage.
Yeah, I mean, and he does go full speed from the look of the videos that I've seen on YouTube. I mean, he is bringing it, but he is 66. I looked it up. He's 66 years old. So, 66-year-old guy running around on a stage. I get it. I did 2 songs of karaoke last night and I was fucking gasping for air.
You were winded.
I was.
Hail and Kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. I tuned in 10 minutes ago when Lou from the Lou was on. And did y'all touch base about what happened in Dallas with W.A.S.P?
No, what happened?
We didn't. We can talk about it. Go ahead. Were you in there?
So, yeah. I went last Saturday. We walked in while Armin Same was playing. It sounded great. We saw Michael Schenker because Michael Schenker came on the bill for just Oklahoma and Texas.
Right.
I learned that from the Eddie Trunk. And so just want to let you know that Michael Schenker kicked ass.
Real quick before you go further, how was the singer Ronnie Romero?
He was good. I was talking to the guys next to me. They were saying, he was the guy in Rainbow. And I had a question for you guys. Is he the guy that was on that Rainbow reunion where he did that one record that what's his name in Australia loved, but y'all were shitting on?
He's the guy. Ronnie is the guy. He did that tour, and then he did like one new song. Yeah.
Right. No, I thought he was good. I mean, I thought Schenker's set was solid, man. I really did. So the thing is, this venue here in Dallas is called Amplified Live. It used to be called Gas Monkey, and it was with the guy from that fucking show with the the garage.
Yeah, Gas Monkey Garage.
Yeah. Well, they rebranded. They sold it. They call it Amplified Live. I actually have a 10-show card pass that my wife got me into any show. And I think that's part of the problem. They sell these cards where, you can get, I have VIP, you buy these stamp cards, anyone can get in, and then they oversell the show. And I went to the Testament one. That was crowded as shit. I went to, all the big tours that y'all talk about on your show. They oversell these shows. And so Michael Schenker gets off the stage. We're sitting there. We're having drinks. We look at our watches. It's 40 minutes. We're like, they bring out Blackie's huge microphone stand that looks like, a dead woman. And we're just kind of like, well, shit. We're looking at our watch. 50 minutes go by. Then the guy next to us is like, hey, they're packing up the merch booth right now. We're like, oh, shit. And so 10 minutes later, guy comes on. Sorry, guys, fire marshal shut it down. Blackie would love to be here, but, it is what it is. Y'all got to go home. And, 8 Dallas patrol cars were out there with the, fire marshal Suburban, making sure, I guess, there's not a riot. And, we got gypped out of W.A.S.P.
Wow.
Were you refunded?
Yeah. So
were people getting refunds, or did they just say, fuck you, you lose?
No, people got refunded, according to what I know. But you got to keep in mind about my situation. I have this stamp card thing. So, and the thing about this Amplified Live place is, man, I got this stamp card. I have the manager's email. I have emailed this dude 4 different times to say, hey, put me on the list next time because so-and-so happened.
Right.
And they're willing to accommodate with me. And he responded the next day that I emailed about, well, went to the W.A.S.P show, put me on a list for, I guess, Machine Head in December, kind of thing.
Right.
And, yeah, so that's what it was. But, hey, good to talk to y'all. I've been listening to y'all for a long time. I felt this was actually an opportunity for me to actually call and not get hung up on immediately, because it was on topic. And, I guess a lot of people, because I've been watching the YouTubes and all that shit, not really too many people are talking about the whole Dallas debacle.
Well, I mean, it's not the band's fault. It's
Oh, for sure. I actually saw some dumbass YouTuber that was like, oh, W.A.S.P management should have known that. Yeah, no. I know how it works. On top of, being around a little bit and listening to you guys, I know the promoter is the one that, W.A.S.P got paid. Blackie got a free night, so, he got to rest his voice, as you were saying, Chris.
Yeah.
So,
it sucks for you guys though, because the truth is W.A.S.P probably won't be back. It's not like they're going to reschedule this show. They're not. I will guarantee. I mean, I don't know that to be true, but I would bet you anything. Don't listen to what they're telling you if they're telling you it's going to be rescheduled.
Right.
Blackie's doing this.
Yeah.
Blackie's doing this, and then honestly, because of there's been so much backlash on this tour in general. From the quote unquote fans, the same fans that Blackie's been like saying are like his saviors and all that shit in every interview. All they're doing is beating on him on every single show online. So don't hold your breath that there'll be a reschedule. There won't be.
Right. I mean, on the W.A.S.P, website, it does say, oh, we're coming back to Dallas. We're coming back to Dallas. And
no way.
My buddy that I took to the show, he was like, hey, man, when W.A.S.P comes back, I'll buy our tickets. Because I fronted his show. Because I actually have 2 stamp cards to this fucking place.
Nice.
Just so I can take friends and stuff. But, yeah, no. So good to talk to you guys. Hail and kill and fuck the Dallas Fire Marshal.
Go.
Yeah, that would suck. I would have been furious. They're lucky they didn't have a riot.
Yeah, I know. That's just that just blows, man.
From what I read too online, and I don't know, again, I read it online, so that makes it real. But from what I read, he ain't lying when he says it was oversold, like 600 over capacity.
How do you oversell a show?
Well, like you said,
either you have tickets or you don't.
Well, like you said, and I've heard this from other people too. They sell these passes at that show.
Mm-hmm.
The passes it's all standing room. It's all SRO. It's no seats.
Right.
So let's say that a show holds 1,000 people. We'll keep the number easy. If a show holds 1,000 people and it's something that is in demand like W.A.S.P, they're going to sell 1,000 tickets because they don't know. Maybe they'll sell 900 tickets because they don't know how many people that have these passes will use them.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's 500 people that have those passes and they all want to go to this show because as this it's the first time in 10 years or whatever that W.A.S.P has been in the States, then you got 500 too many people.
Well, in my opinion, and I understand it's maximizing, the tickets and all things, but if they have 500 of those passes out there, they should consider that 500 tickets sold.
There's a math game to it, and I think they did a math game.
It's a percentage thing.
Yeah, because this guy.
We know that a percentage of the pass holders will show up. So
right.
On an average, 25% of the pass holders will come to a show. So they might consider that just like 25% of the tickets sold.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
And the guys like this guy's more like me that'll go to like a Machine Head show. You wouldn't expect the people that are going to the Machine Head show to go to the W.A.S.P show. So you probably try to do the math, and they just failed miserably on the math.
Or if it's a show like W.A.S.P, where he hasn't been around in a decade, and this is the first time W.A.S.P is, and there's a lot of interest in the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those times where you say passes aren't going to be honored for the show.
Or you just keep a counter. I mean, there's always that method too. You could have a counter, and anybody that's past the counter, sorry, we're over capacity. Here's your refund, and refund them at the door. And I know that sucks. That's a shitty way to do it, but at least that way the show happens.
Or you honor everybody who bought a ticket, and then you count the ones with passes. You know what I mean?
They'll never do that. They'll never do that though, because the ones that did the passes paid for 10 shows.
I understand.
Up front. So they're never going to say, well, you're last. They're going to give those guys first priority. That's like the VIP pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extra special pass.
Right, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
And it's a mess. I mean, what it is it's a mess that came back to bite this promoter really hard in the ass.
Yeah.
Because promoters don't think, I guarantee you, they just were like, fuck, anybody through the door, bring them in.
Yeah. I get it.
Dude, me and you have been to the House of Blues in Cleveland is like that. I would bet you anything some of these shows that I've seen at the House of Blues were way oversold.
Oh, yeah.
Black Label's one that comes to mind immediately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I actually just left. I just left a Black Label show because my nephew and we were going to the Black Label show, and the House of Blues here in Chicago, you have to walk upstairs to the showroom. Yeah. And the crowd was on the stairs.
Yeah, that was the same as here.
And that's as far as you could get, was to the top of the stairs, and that's it. And it was just a wall of people, and I was just like, screw this, we're out of here.
Yeah, I did the same exact thing. I went to a BLS show, and here you go down into the pit. But it was the same thing. There was people standing on the stairs. You couldn't even get in. And I was like, I stood there for like 3 songs. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go drink some beer somewhere. I'm not going to die in a fire. Right. Nope, not me.
Yeah. When American Dog was opening for Tesla, they played at the House of Blues, and it was just so uncomfortably crowded. Just uncomfortably crowded. You were chest to back and back to chest with everybody, and you couldn't even move.
Yeah.
And it's like I gotta find somewhere where I can actually move my arm.
Yeah.
So you try to find a little nook to stand away from everybody, and no matter what, you're still being crushed.
Yeah, I hate those kind of shows. Another one that I went to that was like that, again at the same House of Blues. That's why I don't like going there. But was when Queensryche did Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2 back before Tate left the band.
Right.
And I mean, it was so packed. Like I'll be honest, it was one of the few times ever I felt uncomfortable at a show, because I was kind of in the middle of the pack and I couldn't move. I remember looking at the fucking door, and I was like, man, if something goes off here, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I can't fucking move. So I just started throwing elbows and got my ass out of there and fucking left.
Yeah. I remember that was about 2008?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
07, 08. As they played here, there used to be a venue here called the Star Theater, which isn't there anymore, but they did that show here, and I went to that show.
Yeah. I'm going to put this comment up, and we'll get to your Kiss thing here. We will. I swear.
That's right. I mean, it's all about the tunes, man.
Yeah, but this,
caller, you're on the air.
This just purely comes down to greed. Absolutely.
What's greed?
Well, according to Gordon Gekko, greed is good. But this whole thing just comes down to greed.
Like, why do you think that?
Well, if promoters are overselling a show, right? I mean, you've got to do the math. I mean, they must have to do the math. They must have to go, if X band charges $10,000 or whatever they charge for their guarantee, I have to sell X tickets at $50 or whatever. And therefore, if we sell out the venue, then I make my money back. So the rest of it just comes down to absolute greed. So these idiots, promoters, are overselling these rooms, putting people's lives at risk because of greed.
Well, yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I don't think that this, and again, I don't know this promoter, so I'm not standing up for the promoter at all. I do not know this guy. I don't know his name. I know nothing about him. I know this. What the problem was in this particular venue is that they sell these passes that are not attached to shows. So they don't have a good count on the show. And I think that's dangerous. I think that they should, when they release these passes where you can get tickets to any 10 shows, that's dangerous. I think they should literally say, well, you can get tickets to these shows, and then keep, if the venue sells 1,000, then 100 people can use their pass or something like that. But just letting everybody in is dangerous. I don't disagree with you, Tim, but I think that I don't think it's as simple as saying, yeah, this fucking guy was just trying to snake as much money as he could. I don't think in this situation it's that simple.
Yeah, because they already got the money from the past people already. So it doesn't benefit them anymore because they've already paid.
So but weren't you mentioning other shows where you were just mentioning a Tesla show where you were so uncomfortable because there were just too many people in there, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not saying universally. I'm just saying in this situation with W.A.S.P, just the W.A.S.P show in Dallas that got shut down. I'm saying that with Tesla or anything at Cleveland House of Blues, that's the only one I can speak on. Yeah, they definitely oversold these venues, and I don't know why they oversold them. I mean, dude, part of it is, and this is a part that we're not really addressing either, is there's other places that sell tickets other than the promoters or than the venues. There's fan club, there's radio station giveaways, there's all kinds of shit. And I think some of these promoters do not take all of that into their mind either. If you give away 10, but if they hold on, Tim, I'll let you get your point, but hold on. If they give away, let's say they give away 10 pairs of tickets to the local radio station, so that's 20 tickets, and the fan club gives away, I don't know, 50 pairs of tickets with the meet and greet passes, so that's another 100. So now you're at 120 tickets that are unaccounted for by the promoter, and all the promoter sees is that they have a venue for 1,000 tickets. And and they sell those 1,000 tickets. Again, do I think it's right? No. Do I think that they should know? Should they all communicate? Should the promoter and the band management all communicate with the venue before they start selling tickets? I do think that. Does that happen? I know for a fact it does not.
Well, so therefore, really what that comes down to is the band management is responsible for if you've got a management deal, the manager is therefore, a real manager is therefore responsible for all aspects of your career, right? Including communicating with the agents. And so
well, Tim, I agree.
If I was an artist on that level and it was putting people's lives in danger and I found out my management hadn't done their job, I'd sack them.
Well, all right, I'm a devil's advocate your point, though. In 98% of the cases with shows, this does not happen. 98% of the time, the shows do not sell out. And therefore, those 100 tickets for the radio station and for the fan club and for the giveaways and papering shows and all that stuff doesn't matter. At least 90% of the time, a show sells about 75%. So the giveaways, kind of balance it out to a full room where the promoter makes his money back on the the concessions. That's how they make their money back, is the concessions that come from the freebies. In this W.A.S.P case, and I'm only going to talk in this W.A.S.P case, I don't think that they took into account that it had been so many years since W.A.S.P has toured. Last time W.A.S.P toured, they probably were doing, I don't know, 70% maybe of the rooms that they were playing, maybe less, because W.A.S.P is not a huge draw. And now all of a sudden, because they haven't played in 10 years, it's a much bigger draw than they expected, and it's selling out in every city. And now they're kind of fucked up with what to do with all these, Blackie doing meet and greets and radio station promotions. And Blackie has been very big on the promotional circuit. He's done a zillion interviews talking about this tour, which means that there's a lot of tickets that are flying around that are not accounted for by the venue.
Yeah, no, I know. And just on the quick side note, and I know that there was the one caller that had only seen them once, and that's very different. But again, if W.A.S.P came to Australia and they played 9 songs, I'd be happy, because bloody hell, they haven't been here since the 25th anniversary of the Crimson Idol in the first place. And that was the only time they ever came here. I just think sometimes people take these shows for granted when we live in a country where we hardly see these bands. So I think your outlook is very different. Anyway, Hail Kill.
There goes Tim.
All right, Tim. All right, let's address the one question on the screen, and then we'll talk about the Kiss Cruise. So this guy, Turbo69 in the VIP chat.
I think that's Matt from Cincinnati.
Okay, well, he wants to know if we think that the reason Blackie's playing 9 or 10 songs now is that he's phoning it in because they sold a ton of tickets. I'm going to say no.
I'm thinking that this might be too much of a task for Blackie and his vocal ability.
I mean, it's a rough schedule. He's playing every night. It is a rough schedule. He's not doing like most of these bands do these days, doing fly-ins. He's literally doing old-fashioned touring where he is touring every single day.
He's bringing a whole stage setup with him.
Yeah, and again, I don't know the guy from anything, I mean, we've both interviewed Blackie a couple of times, and that's the extent of our knowledge of Blackie Lawless. We don't know him as a man, but he doesn't come across as that kind of guy. To me, anyway, he doesn't come off as that kind of guy that'd be like, well, fuck it, I got my money, I'm going to do as little as I can.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't buy that either.
I just think that he's out the gate, and it's already taken a toll on him.
Well, yeah, I think he booked a tour that he would have booked when he was 40 years old, and he realized really quickly, man, my back ain't recovering like it used to when I was 40 years old as I ride around on a bus on a shitty fucking bed, a shitty cutout bed in the sidewall of a bus.
Right.
I'm thinking he's probably, having old man things. His fucking knees hurt, and his voice hurts.
And you and I still have suspicions that he may have suffered some heart issues.
Yeah, we still have that thought too, that he may not be, 1,000% healthy. We don't know that. Again, we don't know any of that stuff to be true. He looks like he's bringing it in the time that you're getting on stage. It doesn't look like he's not Phil Collinsing it here. He's not sitting in a chair, but I don't know. It's a weird thing. I wish it was going better just because I'm a huge fan of W.A.S.P. And I see their fans are just murdering them in the W.A.S.P. on the W.A.S.P. Nation, like fan groups on like Facebook and whatever. They are just getting fucking murdered. But look, I hope it does well. I hope people are enjoying the shows. And that's kind of the interesting thing. Nobody's coming out of these shows saying, well, the show sucked. Even Lou from the Lou, he said, yeah, we got 10 songs or whatever. He didn't say, and that blew. He was like, yeah, but I thought it was a good show.
It was a good show for what he got.
Yeah. So, I guess that's good enough. If everybody's coming out of it saying it was a good show, if he played one song, but it was really fucking good and nobody complained, I guess that's good enough.
Yeah, but was he using backing tracks?
Well, of course he's using backing tracks. If you've seen the videos, and again, I don't know this to be true, but I'm just watching the videos. I have very strong suspicion he's singing live, but he also has backing tracks of his voice live.
Right, yeah.
Like like an Ozzy thing.
Well, he's been doing this for years, though.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Even the last time I saw him back in, he was on that tour with Stephen Piercy,
Metal Church
and
LA Guns.
LA Guns, yeah.
Yeah.
And he used backing tracks then.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Eddie Trunk does not approve.
Well, but that's why I brought it up. I was Eddie Trunking it here.
Yeah, because the king does not approve of that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I guess that's what's going on in the W.A.S.P tour.
Okay.
Didn't expect to go there, but okay, cool.
That's all right. That's fine. Because I bought my tickets all the way this past January.
Wow.
I mean, that's when they went on sale, was in January.
Is your show sold out? Do you know?
I think so, because they added a second show.
Oh yeah, so it definitely is. Yeah.
So he's playing 2 nights
Okay.
at the Arcata in St. Charles, Illinois.
And even that I'm sure they're the next day, right?
Yeah, back to back. It's Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm positive he's probably playing Thursday and Wednesday as well. So yeah, it's a rugged tour. That's the one thing that nobody is taking into account is Blackie is playing a rough schedule, man. I mean, these old guys don't do that anymore. These old guys do, they fly in, they play Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, or usually Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
And then they fly out Sunday morning.
Yeah, they go home.
Go home, sit home for a week. Blackie's out there doing it. So yeah, it's interesting.
Absolutely. Hail and Kill, caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, it's Matt in Cincinnati. I wasn't the one that made that comment. Thanks for addressing it. I wasn't accusing him of doing that. I was just thinking to myself, like you said earlier, Chris, setlist.fm is great, and I was looking over the set. It seemed like Armored Saint extended theirs halfway through the tour. I don't know. It just seems like I mentioned to you guys about a month ago the touring schedule was aggressive, and the joke was, hey, how hard is backing tracks to pull off? But man, I agree. I don't know if he can handle it physically, and I'm looking forward to going to the show down here near Dayton. But I don't know, man. I mean, even the videos I've seen, the production really didn't impress me that much.
Yeah, that to me is the biggest. To me, that is the biggest disappointment of the whole thing. Is that from the videos that I've seen, I mean, Blackie, when I interviewed him, I'm only going by when I interviewed him. I know he's done a zillion interviews and he's kind of said the same shit every time, but he really sold the fact when I talked to him that the show was going to be this big arena type show, and it's not looking like that. It just is not looking like it is a big arena type show at all to me, and you would,
and that's
good.
Now that's why I was thinking maybe they just decided to cut some cost and pocket some more money. And I don't know. I don't know what the guarantee is for the package. It's probably what, 30, 40K?
Probably.
With those ticket prices, about $40.
Yeah.
So maybe they just decided, hey, you know what? We're making a ton of money with the meet and greets. I'd like to talk to somebody that has been to one of those, see if he's cutting those short, man, because those things have to be, to a guy like him, have to be just as exhausting as getting up on stage.
Probably
just
true.
Spend the time with people like that, because and he said, hey, he's not going to make it a cattle call. He's going to hang out and talk to people and blah blah blah. But it's just like, yeah, the production side to me, man, that's the whole thing. When I saw Kill Fuck Die at Bogart's, man, whenever that was, it was brutal. It was a killer show. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen at that level. And I'm going to be disappointed if it's not as good as I hope. I don't know.
You're not wrong, dude. I mean, it's definitely, I'm playing a little bit of the video from one of the shows, and I mean, okay, it looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks like some stuff, I guess.
Underwhelming.
Stuff.
I mean, I'm not overwhelmed by it either. Looking at this, I know here I wanted to get seats, and to get seats,
Right.
and I only looked like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and to buy seats were $318, and I was like, fuck no, and I'm glad I didn't, because now that I see that it's really just kind of looking sort of circus tenty, I'm like, it's not what I thought it was going to be, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm sure it'll still be good, but I don't think it's it's as good, I guess. But go ahead.
What was I going to say? My friend and I bought tickets for $40. It's GA. We're going to suffer and stand all night.
Right.
But I pay $40 for Armored Saint by themselves because they smoke, But but the opposite's true. I saw Judas Priest a few weeks ago. I decided to go at the last minute. It was a $75, $80 ticket, whatever it was, and they were awesome.
Sure.
The production was great. The set list was killer. I don't know if you've seen that set list. It's awesome. And it was way better than I expected, for the 50th time I've seen them probably,
Right. Sure.
But I don't know. It just seems a little underwhelming, but it's still going to be good for $40. Like Lou said, you're not going to be bummed if you've seen them before, I guess.
Are you going to be bummed that if you only get 9 songs?
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm.
I'd like to hear a little bit more deeper tracks, but that's never going to happen. Most bands don't do that anymore. But I agree with Neeley earlier. You got to give the people an hour and a half. You really do, if you're a headliner. And that's what I'm thinking. I think Armored Saints extended their set just to make up for the fact that, they're pulling songs. Maybe that's just conspiracy theory. It's probably.
I would agree that Armored Saint has probably been asked to extend their set to make up for the shortfall of W.A.S.P.
Could be.
Right. I hope it makes it to my show, man. It wouldn't shock me at all if some shows start canceling, because I don't know if he can do it, man. I give the guy a lot of props for getting out there at his age. It's got to be brutal,
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, hail and kill, fuck you, pal, hand job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that might be the case, that Armored Saint was asked to extend their set a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, who knows? I get it. I really don't know. I don't have any insider information. I wish I did. If people want the insider information, check out 3 Sides of the Coin, that podcast, because Michael Bramvold is doing the publicity for Blackie. So, he definitely has a reach into that camp. I mean, he's going to tell you, he may not tell you everything that he's hearing, but he's going to have more real information than we are. I mean, as we've said how many times here, we have no knowledge, but we're guessing, but Bramvold would know.
A lot of speculation.
Yeah. So if you really want to know, check out 3 Sides of the Coin, because they would definitely have the right information for this right now. So,
well, there was something else I was going to ask you about. So what's the big reveal with the fuck like a beast? Was there anything?
I don't know. I you know what? That's a whole nother thing that I don't think materialized as it was supposed to. It's that there was all that talk that it was going to be this big deal, and it just kind of wasn't.
He's gonna wasn't he saying they were re-engineering it, and it was and he's not going to talk about it because they're doing something special, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So apparently,
that didn't happen. As far as I know, that didn't happen at all. So, I don't know what that was all about, but it did not materialize as advertised.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
do you have any W.A.S.P live video over there of this current tour that you could play some of the audio from?
yeah. Let me look it up here.
Let's hear some of it.
And I don't know how good the audio quality is, but we
Well,
can
I'm
certainly.
just curious. I'm just curious about it because we're not going to get to my Kiss story.
We'll do it next segment, I guess.
That's fine. Whatever.
Let's see.
We might as well finish it out with W.A.S.P and see what's going on this tour.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Present, share screen, upper tab, W.A.S.P. This is from Vegas. And let's just turn up the sound. Sounds all right.
Yeah, I see Blackie obviously playing the original music video.
Yeah, behind him. Probably with the audio piped in.
I can't imagine Blackie could twirl his head around the way he does in that video.
No, not at all.
Not anymore.
Well, he's prancing around. I mean, he's moving around. I mean, he's not standing still.
True. I mean, he's not Rob Halfering it.
No, not at all. I mean, he's still
acting like a robot up on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the show, I guess, but it's just not.
Is there any video of him riding his motorcycle handlebar thing?
Let's see if we can't find some here. But I mean, I don't know what song he does it in, so let's see if we can't find him up there on that thing. That thing is so stupid. I will say that is one thing that I do not get with Blackie.
Well, he broke that out during the KFD tour.
Yeah, and it was dumb then too.
That's when he first had that thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of him standing here like this, but oh, dude, get up on this thing. Oh,
there he goes. He's going to get up on that.
Let's back up here during the encore.
Well, what's he doing now?
I guess he's just rocking back and forth.
I thought he was going to get up on that because I've seen him get up on that and just ride it like a.
Well, that was when he was in his 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
I know he climbs up on it, but I think he just climbs up on it at the end, maybe just to stand on it. Let's see what he's doing here.
There's a couple of songs we ain't played in a long time.
Oh, here's Animal. We can find out what he's doing.
We're going to one of them right now. Two, we're back in America. Because I'm blind in Texas!
Boo. Stupid stand. Here's what I want to know. Why would he not be playing blind in Texas for years?
Yeah.
That would suck to me. That's like their biggest hit.
That's one of them. Yeah, sure.
Where are you at on this fucking mic stand, Blackie? All right, here's the encore. There's got to be some video of him climbing up on this fucking thing. Thing is dumb. All right, let's get to the end and see if he even climbs up on it. All right, here we go. Guess not.
No, I guess not.
Maybe.
Yeah, he just uses it like a mic stand the whole time.
Yeah. Just a mic stand that fucking stops anybody in front of him from seeing him.
It just to pick that damn thing up and bring it in and set it in there just to have him stand behind it and use it as a mic stand.
Yeah, like it's blocking him so he doesn't have to see anybody eye to eye.
I guess.
That thing is a big, intrusive, stupid thing.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the end here. Maybe he'll jump up on it.
I doubt it.
Here he goes.
Is he?
Here he goes. Maybe.
Maybe he can't get up there.
Might not. There he goes. Now he can't get down.
That was it, huh?
I guess that's it.
I don't know. That just didn't look like an arena stage show to me.
No, it looks like a club show.
Yeah, he's just got these
banners.
Yeah, scrims.
Yeah, that's it. Stacked up scrims. I'll give it to him. He's putting it out there as best as he can for
I agree.
66-year-old guy, but dude, seriously?
He built that up like it was a big arena show.
Yeah, well, maybe to him it is.
All right.
Well, there you have it. There's Blackie Lawless.
Okay. I see our friend Mike Dubkey is still in the band.
Is he?
Yeah, playing the drums.
Okay, well, good for him.
From Hair of the Dog.
Yeah. Probably makes a hell of a lot more money being in W.A.S.P than Hair of the Dog.
Yeah, he actually played with John Mellencamp for a short time too, just as a backup percussionist.
Probably made a couple of bucks on that one too. So,
yeah.
Well, good on him. Good on him. Good on Blackie. He's still out there doing it. Sorry to our friends in Dallas that got fucked. You know, that really kind of sucks. Yeah, I bet they were disappointed. All right, Sloppy Kisses. Is that his real hair or a wig? Now, how would we know that? I got to think real hair.
I think that's his real hair.
If it was a wig, he'd do better than that, wouldn't he?
You would think so.
You know, I would think that they would do more. He would get a better wig than that. I mean, but then again, there was Kevin Dubrow, and he had the fucking worst wigs.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up the W.A.S.P talk.
All right. Well, there we go. W.A.S.P talk. Didn't expect that this segment, and we did an hour anyway.
It just happens that way.
Yeah, it just sort of flowed that way. So,
Well, since we're talking W.A.S.P, we might as well get out of this segment with some W.A.S.P. So is there something you'd like to hear?
I would like to hear what is that song? It's on Neon God, the last song on Neon God 1.
Okay.
The Great Redemption or whatever that song is called.
It's called The Raging Storm.
The Raging Storm, yeah.
All right. We can do that.
That's a killer song.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the last time I talked to Blackie was depressed for this
Neon Gods.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll play a few songs. We'll come back. We'll do our sponsored segment of the show.
Ooh.
And I may actually get to the Kiss Cruise. All right. Well, here it is. It's Blackie, Lawless, and W.A.S.P. with The Raging Storm exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Thanks for checking out this episode of The Classic Metal Show. Get all of our episodes uncensored at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. Join us weekly from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern at www.cmsradio.net. Participate in the live chat room at www.chatandkill.com. Once again, thank you for checking out The Classic Metal Show with Neeley and Chris. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And hand job.